Everything all set? Hello! Welcome, welcome. Last time we left off... sorry, apologies. Getting a little caught up in all the excitement. It's a big day today. I am your host, Levitome, or just Levitt for short, as has been. On top of the usual excitement, as of yesterday's... we'll call it call it what it is, a little 3D debut. We also have a little bit of an addition as we... Ah! Uh-oh. Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. Yes. Fine and dandy. Wasn't too confident in having this on full display yesterday, but seeing as everything worked well, as intended, and nothing exploded, well, got my little antlers. No, they are... they're work in progress, but slowly but surely, we are learning, we are growing, we are adapting, and... Oh, further range of motion also massively improved. Very, very excited for this. Also, few little tweaks here and there, but aside from that, though, welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. We last left off having entered absolute favorite zone that is at the same time beautiful, gorgeous, awe-inspiring, and well, we'll see. it's it's fine. Likewise, the Dark Souls 1 servers are still not live again. There's a lot of work being done, a lot of good work, and FromSoft already has a lot on the plates, so I don't fault them for taking their time, making sure things are right. Especially considering Dark Souls 1 and the Remastered, I think, share the same servers, or they shut down the original ones entirely in favor of the Remastered. I'm not too clear on that. It's never been all that important. But I think Dark Souls 3 is online again. So that bodes well for potentially 2 and eventually 1. I would hope 1 would get up a little sooner, seeing as it's a bit more recent than Dark Souls 2. 2 should get back up online just because, as weird a game as 2 is, it still has merit. But all that to say, as we learned last time, without online capabilities, we're in a bit of a disadvantage here, but looking at this, we can infer it is not all it might be cracked up to be. Path ahead, using the... no, that's not the... No, it is! For some reason, I thought the dev messages in this game were the fluted knight set from the first, from Demon Souls, but it's not. Oh, just realized something. Apologies. You see nothing? Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. No one sees anything. No. Oh my goodness. This controller, the drift is... Aha! Glad I caught that. That would have been. Okay. Okay. You know what? I would have deserved that. I would have deserved that. So now we're ready to roll. Uh, what fun note. The little icon there is the dev message icon, which we see fairly rarely. Fairly rarely. That's the Elite Knight set, much like Oscar wore himself, and we picked up in the forest. That said, this is still a terrifying walk, even though I know for certain it has to be straight ahead. It has to be, but like it. Okay, this is a lot wider than I always thought. Okay, look, it's stress-inducing, and we have more than enough we need to worry about, like fighting on this lopsided. Oh, oh no, it's fine. We are stupidly strong. We have a ridiculously strong sword, and as as mentioned in the tweet earlier, we're aiming for a ridiculously tricky little thing to get. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. That no matter how many times I've played, unless I build for a very specific point, namely in getting my strength this high, which is still only 43 or 50 or 60 would be fantastic. Apologies. Uh, Having that strength will allow us more wiggle room in the second hardest, the second hardest to get dragon tail. Ah! It begins. It begins. Right. There's no other closer. That's fine. I don't think we had much on us to lose at the moment. I thought for sure by now we should have someone here to talk to, but... Ah, there we go. Now that's a good, handy bit of information to have. But first, let's take a look at what he's got. We've seen that, we've seen this. Soul Spear, Magic Weapon. Crystal Soul Spear, that's definitely new. Sorcery boosted by the knowledge Logan acquired at the Regal Archives. Fire piercing Crystal Soul Spear. These pale, magic spears, sharpened through crystallization, are on par with the armaments of the ancient lords. Fascinating, to say the least. Crystal Magic Weapon. Logan acquired in the Regal Archives. High magic and crystallization, right weapon. Logan's trials were successful, and the crystal medium facilitated a stronger bond between weapon and soul. Soul Arrow, homing crystal soul mass. Sorcery boosted by the knowledge Logan. We've already seen that part. Fire homing crystal soul mass. The mysteries of souls, crystals, and the sorceries are deeply intertwined. Because I've been hoping to get a piece of information from either him or Griggs for a while now, but that hasn't been forthcoming, probably because our intelligence is not that high, so we cannot fully take advantage of their sorcerous ways. But he might tell us as well here. Hopefully, of course. Hmm. Fantastic. Not entirely too sure why the dragons had a crystal of immortality in the first place, given that they themselves are immortal. So, unclear. Uh, that said, we didn't really have much way of harming Seath in the first place, as all we have on hand is a gigantic sword and a few fireballs, and I think the fireballs didn't have the range to touch him at all. So it kinda didn't really matter. But this is Logan telling us that, like, not only is he undead, quote unquote, but like for real, he's actually unable to die. So that is very interesting to think of. We're not getting the bit of information I would hope we would have. Maybe soul mass, soul arrow, heavy soul arrow, soul mass. Let's see. Life originates in the soul. No wonder the soul mass draws towards it. Look at cell speed. I thought at some point it said straightforward that casting sorceries is harnessing the power of the soul. That's why so many of these things have, like, oh, this is the soul arrow. That's this. It's the soul mass. It's soul spear. Uh, where miracles in this world pertain to the channeling of your faith and turning that into something that is enacted upon the world around you. Uh, Often you just need to have like the scrap of paper that has a short story or an excerpt, or I guess a scroll that has a longer story on it, and then reciting that would invoke its power. For souls, it's not so much about calling on something outside, but something from inside. Souls in this world have they have weight, they have strength, they have, well, not weight, but they have a gravity about them. I'll say, yeah, that's a better way of putting it. They have a gravity about them that uh, like it describes in the soul mass, life originates in the soul, and when the soul mass is drawn towards it, each of these sorceries is enforcing a bit of your soul to create a tangible, if energetic, response, which is deeply fascinating. As in order to even use any of these things, you have to be able to understand what it is you're pulling out and willing out. So your intelligence is actually a measure for your understanding of, like, what is this that I'm doing. If you understand it, then you can fulfill it. If you can't understand it, then it's beyond your grasp to attain, which is why I believe Griggs and Logan won't teach you unless you have a certain benchmark of intelligence. Because if you're not high enough in intelligence, you can't even fathom what it is that they're trying to interpret. Conversely, with pyromancy, that's literally taking a piece of your, like, capital S self and willing it through the flame to come into being. Versus miracles, which is invoking something else's power that is outside of yourself and believing it will work so that it will. Which is also super fascinating, as because things are offline, we weren't able to go and pursue the the Dark Moon, the Knights of a Dark Moon, which I would have loved to do, but grinding out ears to try and get all the goodies from the Dark Moon Covenant is tedious work, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That would be ridiculous. But if we did, and we were able to use the online benefits, and we were able to engage in the Dark Moon Covenant PvP, we would be able to get a miracle from them. I believe it was Blade of the Dark Moon, which I don't remember what version of it is in this game. It may be a weapon enchantment, I think. It probably is a weapon enchantment. In fact, now that I think about it, it has to be, because that's what the Dark Moon Knightess uses as she fights us when we reveal the truth of the world. uh, Unfortunate. Oh my god, they. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, he stays gone. Good. But were we able to get the Dark Moon Covenant enchantment, which is a miracle that you use and invoke the power of to enshroud your sword in magical energy. Oh. Oh. Fantastic. And seeing as we fought and slew Gwendolyn, the god of the dark sun, the dark sun, uh, we'd be, ooh, 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 mm-hmm. Okay, okay, we got this. Grab that. We don't need it, but may as well grab it. Okay, good. Uh, Ordinarily, I would have thought, like, oh, well, if you have a miracle, so long as the source of that miracle's strength still exists, you would be able to continue to use it and invoke it. But that's not exactly the case, as if we work with Gwendolyn and then we kill them, if miracles worked in that way where the source of power needs to still exist to invoke it, as soon as Gwendolyn dies, it should cease to be. But that's not the case, as we would still be able to use it. Oh my god. This is a little tricky. Wait, maybe there's something else I'm missing. It has been some time, so I kind of forget exactly where we're supposed to go. Is this something? No? No? Okay, okay. Maybe it is back up. At any rate, sorceries come from the soul. Pyromancies come from the self. Miracles come from without. Okay, good. Wait, then where am I supposed to go? How? Okay, okay, okay. Maybe there's further ahead. Imminent fall. Okay, straight ahead. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, okay. Ah, the metaphysics behind what powers these different spells and incantations and miracles and pyromancies is something I greatly enjoy because in oh boy, oh jeez, time for clam. No, no. Okay, good. Oh jeez. Whew. Now I like to believe that these are snacks and Seath eats them, but they are full of purging stones, which from our brief dive into the depths, purging stones, as we recall, are stone encased skull effigies of a sort. Because a curse cannot be broken. It can only ever be, well, not broken. It can't be cured. A curse can't be cured. It can only be uh, given to someone else or something else to take that burden unto itself. Dang clams. Ah! Oh, okay, right. It's a dead clam. Ah, taking too many unnecessary hits. Okay. No. No. Huh. Okay. We got this. We have this. Easy peasy. Oh, no, 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 no. The power of the soul and self and power without also comes into question when we recall that in this particular circumstance, having a soul is not an innate. It's not an innate thing that everyone has. souls in the Dark Souls series all originate from one massive fire at the beginning of disparity, and inside that first flame is where all these souls came from, that dispersed into the world, either being carried or otherwise, and that's what gives things life. It's also the stuff that gives us strength, as each of these creatures that we slay has a number of souls on them, often from either. Oh, wait. Here we are. And that must be the crystal Logan told us about. But we're not alone. God, he's gorgeous. If only he wasn't so dang evil. It's really unfortunate. Oh, right, no, we were on. Okay, okay. I remember now. Uh, this is the thing. It's a good thing he's blind, otherwise I'd be in a lot of trouble right now. Hi, Seath. Is everything good? Maybe. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! Yes! Mission accomplished! Ha! Okay. Uh, mission accomplished. We can now fight this guy straightforward, as he was a big dum dum and decided to attack. Oh no! With his big crystal breath weapon while he was facing. Oh no! His own crystal immortality machine. Oh no! So he destroyed his own immortality engine, which is very unfortunate for him, but very beneficial for us. No, no, drink. Uh, I can't see anything. Oh, okay, I see. No! Did I drink? I didn't. Did I die? No, I lived. I can't see anything. Stop. Is that it? Okay. That went pretty well. I'm very content with how that went, even though it was impossible to see what was going on. Ah, because fighting him is not the big issue. What is the big issue is cutting off the tip of his tail, because it's very hard to see exactly how much of him is actually tail and how much is this little nubbin. But because we did that, we got my absolute favorite weapon in every game of all time, of all of history, the Moonlight Greatsword. It is naturally a greatsword. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, came from the tale of Seath the Scaleless, the pale white dragon who betrayed his own. Seath is the grandfather of sorcery, and this sword is imbued with his magic, which shall be unleashed as a wave of moonlight. Unable to wield effectively, as we don't have the 28 intelligence it takes to wield this properly. Yeah, we don't have nearly enough the intelligence to use it, and that's unfortunate, as it is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Oh! Huh! Okay, so this is not at the point where not having the appropriate stats will prevent you from using this weapon's special skill. Granted, not many weapons have special skills in this game, but look at that. Oh, I love it. Absolutely adore it. Just unfortunate that I can't use it. At this point in the game, it's also a little too late to be thinking about trying to level up outside of my current trajectory, as there's no way to make that strength matter if I were to go straight for the Moonlight Greatsword instead. So, may as well pop that up there. In future games, they'll have ways to reallocate your stats, but right now, not so much. Now, for right now, insofar as our purposes go, we have the Lord Soul from the Four Kings. We have the Lord Soul from Seath. We still need to go. We need to go down into Lost Islith. Which we could honestly do now. But seeing as we've gotten as far as the Tomb of the Giants, we may as well finish that up first, considering just how agitating Lost Islith can be. It has stuff. Yeah! Welcome, Steenie! I got. Oh, oh, come on, face. There we go. Uh, it's not exactly how I want it to be, but for now, it's a nice placeholder, and you know, I think they're rather nice. uh, Still need to work on calibrating so that things aren't nearly as nyeh. But oh, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. Also, eh, 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 yeah, yeah. We have some verticality now. I wasn't too sure how it would work out, but it's looking good. It's looking real good. Which reminds me, we're gonna need a skull lantern. We're still light enough to roll, and we are going to hopefully. Oh, I don't know if you saw it, but we got the Moonlight Greatsword, which is kind of hard to see right now as we're in the pitch black dark, but it's good stuff. Unfortunately, I can't use it. Uh, it's one of those things where, like, actually, I don't think. No, we did actually get one other tail weapon from the Gaping Dragon in the depths of the sewers. I cut his tail off and I got an axe from it, which I didn't use, and I might actually be strong enough to in 5 more level ups. But like that weapon, it's a tail cut from Seath this time. And hmm. I forget exactly No, no, no. Here we go. It's this way. But yeah, it's unironically what probably 90% of my warlocks end up wielding weapon kind of like that. As it's a it's a fun way of like, oh, what does your Eldritch Blast? Ah! What does your Eldritch Blast look like? Like, oh, I, no, no. Uh, It's like, oh, I swing my sword and blast it. Oh, jeez. You! Ah! Okay, okay, well. No, no. Am I going the right way? I might be going the wrong way. Oh, you know what? No, I didn't do it yet. Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. I forgot to do the thing that I probably should have done before coming down here. But that's fine. Nothing we can't recover from. I also didn't kindle that bonfire, so it's fine. It's fine. We can. Okay, he's got a lot further reach than I thought he did. There we go. Now where? Okay, I did take a wrong turn somewhere. Oh, that's unfortunate. Is it down there? No. It's fine. It's fine. We got this. We got this. We got this. Oh no. Okay. It's fine. Uh, a little turned around. It has been some time since I've been here. But this is not the way we came in. Right, we slid down, walked across the thing. There's an item in there, so we definitely didn't. Okay. I probably could just try and obliterate those guys before. Oh, wait, maybe. You know what? Let's swap that to the other hand. We'll get a light source. And we will huck down some fire. It missed. Good to know. The fireball has a hitbox on the top of it. So that's good to know now. You? Well, we're just gonna go get. We're gonna get it. We gonna get it. We'll get it. It's fine. It's totally cool. We now have a large divine number. Oh boy. No. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Mm. Oh, well. That's alright. We lost one humanity, but we don't need to stockpile them anymore. And I forgot to sit down at that bonfire, so that's alright. Tomb of the Giants. Having an entire zone just be pitch black darkness is definitely a choice. That's why I didn't have all my Estus, because I didn't sit down. I just didn't sit down. But that also means that that's not the correct way to go. So I need to remember the path through. Which, yeah, it is creepy as AF, as it's hard to tell where stuff is, and you either need to find uh, well, like we saw with the spell of light that Dusk of Ulasil has. If we knew how to cast spells, well, actually we could. It only required. Oh, this guy? Well, he's fine. He just kicked us into a hole that one time. He's fine. He's totally cool. Just a bald-headed man with a spear lurking in the darkness. He's fine. Trust me. He's is that well, I mean, how many people do you know that lurks in the dark trying to kick people off cliffs? Fun fact, he's in every single Souls game. Except for, I think, Dark Souls 2. Which is another reason why it doesn't really fit in. Well, aside from Skellyman. You can name two. Who else lurks in the dark with a spear? I don't know if I can name the other one. Because there is Patches, but someone else who lurks in the dark with it. Oh, I mean, in game. Oh, is it someone not in game that lurks in the dark with a spear? Oh, I think you might have me at a disadvantage there because I don't know who you're talking about. But yeah, this is Patches. He's in Armored Core. He's in Dark Souls 1 and, well, all of them except for 2. He's in Demon Souls. He's in Bloodborne. I don't think he's in Sekiro. But there might be a bald man trying to push you into a hole in that game, and I wouldn't know because I haven't played it. Uh, where in the world? It's not here. Well, I didn't know it was a joke. I would hope that a strange bald-headed man with a spear lurking in the dark is not something you frequently engage with. There we go. Now, if you thought seeing him in the distance was creepy, just look at that. Ah! I was a little too close. Ah. Well, the large skeletons, I believe, are giants. I don't know what these dogman skeletons are. They're the worst, and that's about as far as I got for you. They're not even all that, like, dang, oh, what's that? That's the second bonfire. See, that's the thing I really do really love about this game series. They put stuff you're gonna see later on in the level, but that means we gotta get way down there. And I just saw something cross that light, so that's very. Oh, are you trying to approach me? Ah! Ah! Okay, fair, fair, fair play, sir. Two can play that game. Ah. If you wanted a fair fight, ah, You shouldn't have run at me in the dark. Oh, I've never had him run at me like that before. Uh, oh. Well, that was a Black Knight, I believe. Oh, jeez. Ah! Oh, God, I hate these things. Blind corners are definitely a thing, and I hate them. And these skeletons that, for whatever reason, pant in the dark. Nah, that's okay. You, sir. Be gone. Okay, okay. We got this. We got this. I need to find that other bonfire because there's something I want to do that I can't show off unless I find it. I think it's this path down here. Do we follow the light or we don't follow the light? That's the big question. I think we don't. I think we go around the back. We go around the outside. Around the outside. Oh, no, but this is something I didn't want. The Effigy Shield. Which... Oh, there we go. Effigy Shield. Frightful occult shield. Defends against divine weapons and lightning. In an ill-fated plot to destroy the very gods, the followers of the occult once attempted to steal the power of Gravelord Nito, the first of the dead. An ill-fated plot to destroy the very gods. Which is confirmation that somebody who failed in their attempt to kill and overthrow the gods definitely... I mean, you don't get a setting where people are trying to actively kill gods without something somewhere having gone very, very wrong. So, whether that is... Ah! Whether that means the deities are going against what the mortals want, or that they are... The deities have outlived their purpose. It's hard to say. But also, in this setting, the gods are just a bunch of people. Like, they're very akin to, like the Greek gods, where they are very much just a really powerful dude or a very powerful woman. It's like they are still people. Oh, right. That reminds me. I want to... Since we don't need to hoard humanities anymore, we'll use a little bit of that and a little bit of this. Because we're going to need a good bit of healing to get through what I like to call the meat grinder. Especially if I want to try and see if a certain someone wants to say hello. Because if they do want to say hello, then we'll get a little bit of extra fun, strength-based goodies, we'll say. Because from here, I think we just follow the lights. Ah. Ah. Ah, yes. Okay, just souls. So I think we're good from here on out. I don't recall if there's any more skeletons in our way. Yeah, I think we're good. Which is fantastic, because that means... Because that means... Is he not going to... There we go! Dark Spirit Paladin Leroy. Ah! No, no, no. Come on, buddy. Mm-mm. None of that for you. Humanity acquired along with Grant and Sanctus. Grant, a legendary weapon of the Way of White, granted to an undead paladin long ago. This massive iron can only be lifted by those with inhuman strength, but it is blessed and very effective against agents of dark. That's something we could aim for if we were a strength and faith kind of build. That said, I don't believe we're going to go that route. And Sanctus, a legendary weapon of the Way of White, also granted to an undead paladin long ago. Once blessed with the protection of a white flame, but its power has all but faded, so it provides only slight HP recovery. The big question now is, how slight is slight? I mean, that is slight, but that's not nothing. uh, this reminds me, we do have another place we need to check out. Which... If we recall exactly where we went to reach this place the first time, we are currently far below Firelink's shrine, as the crypt was just off to the side of a cliff, leading down into the catacombs, from the catacombs to the Tomb of the Giants, and we are currently still within the Tomb of the Giants. So with that in mind, where the hell are we looking at? Those are massive trees off in the distance. And we haven't really seen an ocean of massive trees anywhere else. Yet. Well, until now, at least. This is kind of a, what to call it? I guess a hint? Yeah, a hint would be good. That, you may want to go looking around some places. And we already had another hint from our friend Siegvard. Not Siegvard. Siegmeyer? Yes, Siegmeyer. That while he found nothing of interest up above, he did decide to go down below. So we didn't see him in the catacombs, so he clearly didn't come this way. But he may have gone somewhere else. Which would mean that though we pass through the depths and through Blighttown, but given we know there's more to the area, it might be worthwhile to investigate a little bit more. Let's see, Grass Crest, Dragon Crest. I don't think we're dealing with magic anymore, and I don't think we're dealing with fire, so for now, we'll just go for The classic normal crest shield. Uh, right. They're having fun. They're in a way, but at least they're having fun. Uh, okay, so two-handing seems to be the way to go. Ah. Whoop. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. If I didn't have this humanity on me, I would have let it happen, but I don't want to waste that, especially with all these souls as well. But right here's where you see that little clip in all the TikToks and the memes where, like, I'm gonna swing at you, and then you just get kicked off to the side by the skeleton. It's a classic. It is. If I wasn't carrying around stuff I didn't want to lose, it would have been fun to show off. But I don't want to do that, though. I don't want to do that, especially when there's all this to deal with afterwards. Side note, I hope everyone's staying hydrated. I feel a little tickle. No! Okay, I'm going to very, very briefly take a moment to water. It does your body good. You need it. Like a plant without which you will wither and wither. Yeah. Is that fire? Ah, my dear, dip, dangly dingus. Ah, they might be fire. That might be fire. You know what? You know what? Where is? Oh no, this is such a bad idea. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, okay, okay. It's not so bad. Not so bad. Eat some of that. Okay, good, good, good. They healed me. Ah, right. They toxic. The implications of a lot of this is very dire and overwhelming with how rampant things are getting. Okay, okay, okay. We got this. We got this. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. Also, if you remember these guys, they're pinwheels. But like before, there was more than one, but these are all real. And none of them are giving me the thing that will let me talk about them more. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We got this. It's fine. Totally fine. Barely an issue. Barely an inconvenience, even. But they're not giving me the item I want them to. So. Oh! A white slab. That doesn't mean no good, but it's nice to have a slab, even if it's One that can't be used. And those things will keep popping up. Okay. Ah. Okay. Taking a moment. Well, I was going to take a moment. Okay. Okay. Now taking a moment. It's the Mask of the Father. One of the three masks of the Pinwheel, the necromancer who stole the power of the Gravelord and reigns over the catacombs. It's important to note that it's the Pinwheel and not like many. One, not singular. This is one that's notable and it's taken over the. Nope. Taken over the catacombs. Along with the other item that states that there were those who tried to steal power from Nito. Necromancers who tried to steal from Nito. It's safe to say that Pinwheel themselves are the necromancer or necromancers. Where did I just see that? Oh, there we go. Suffice to say that if I had a little bit more luck with those ones that were popping up, I'd be able to possibly get the other two masks, which would then explain that these creatures are three different bodies sewn together in a like grotesque mockery of like unlife. Uh, the father and the mother and the child. I believe like common consensus is that the father tried to revive the mother and the child, and in doing so, with stolen power from Gravelord Nito, it kind of backfired, and now they are a triple conjoined amalgamation of bodies stitched together. Whether literally or magically stitched, I don't know. We never really get to see under the cloak, so to speak. Let's see. Now for this, I mean, it should be fine. We're probably gonna die a lot, but that's okay. Simply because now the last two Lord Souls are held by two very tricky little buggers, and this is the least annoying one of the bunch. Right, he doesn't speak. Because why would he? He's just a dead guy, made of 1,000 dead guys. Ah, fuck! Okay. Oh boy. Nope! Oh, damn it. A little slow on the draw there. Okay, okay, good. No! Oh boy. Oh boy. No, no. No! Okay. Sir? Oh, I'm just stuck. I'm just flat out You know what? That works. That works. I'll take that. I'll take that. You jerk. Right, they don't die. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Right. I forgot the skeletons in here don't die because the necromancers on the outside who are holding the skull lanterns that we got from them in the catacombs. While they are necromancers, their power over death comes from Lord Nito, First of the Dead. So it stands to reason that Lord Nito, Lord of the Dead, would summon skeletons he can keep bringing back with his necromancy. So the Ring of the Evil Eye will not help me because if they don't actually die, then it doesn't do anything. So, with that in mind, we'll be a little tankier this time. We won't have to worry about Paladin Leroy. Eh? Ah! No, no, no. Mm. There we go. Okay. Unfortunate, but my treasure senses were tingling. White Titanite chunk. Okay, so while a good thing to grab, the White Titanite is functionally useless for us and our purposes as we don't we don't have any divine weapons, so there's nothing for us to upgrade. And on top of also forgetting they didn't actually die, it's because the last time I played, I had a Silver Knight straight sword or the Silver Knight spear, both of which are divine weapons. So when they put a skeleton down, any weapon that has divine damage on it keeps those skeletons down. Ah. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, good. So, if I still had the weapon I had the last time I played, then those guys would have actually been destroyed. So, oh, nope, not that. There we go. Mask? Mask? Eh. We're having a bit of a... Okay, okay, that is fire. Bit of a cursed luck. A cursed bit of luck. But that's fine. We made it. We have most of our heals intact. Oh. Well, while this is happening, I'm going to take another drink of water. And I hope everyone else is staying hydrated as well. It's very good for you. It's good for your body. Good for your soul. Probably. I don't know. And it has been a long time. But Nito, along with being first of the dead, also reigns dominion over deadly miasma, which is Ah, boy. Super fun. And cool. No! Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, that was horrible. That was not what I would want if I had a choice. Okay, okay. Backing off, backing off. Okay, okay. Okay. We got this, we got this. No. How about... How about some fire, Scarecrow? Okay. I need to stop messing around with these guys. There we go. Okay, 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 okay. Hello, sir. You're super cool, and I dig your aesthetic, but you are a problem. And I wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't be. Dodge? Yes. Haha! I am far too short for you to swing. Hmm. No. Whew. Spicy, 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 spicy. Oh, he's so big. Oh no. No, 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 no. Okay, okay. I think we got this. There. Got him. We got him. See? Just don't get hit. Don't get hit and the game plays itself. Ah. Ah. Okay. You know what? I didn't read. Let's be the queen. A thing I didn't think I noticed until now either. The four kings, despite them being like, really strong and being sealed away for a long, long time, their shard of the bequeathed Lord Soul is much smaller than the shard given to Seath, which is about on par with the soul of Gravelord Nito. But I don't think I read this one yet. Soul of the Albino, Seath the Scaleless, a fragment of a Lord's soul discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Seath allied with Lord Gwyn and turned upon the dragons, and for this he was awarded dukedom, embraced by the royalty, and given a fragment of a great soul. Although just a piece, it will still satiate the Lord Vessel. And soul of Grave Lord Nito, first of the dead. This Lord's soul was discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Gravelord Nito administers the death of all manner of beings. The power of this soul is so great that it satiates the Lord Vessel, despite the fact that much of its energy has already been offered to death. What that means exactly, I'm not too clear. It's hard to say what exactly Nito was doing this entire time, whether his presence actually allows things to die beyond just the Lord Soul being what created death in the first place. It's unclear, but we make of it what we will. I choose to believe that in his dormant state, he's able to more or less regulate the balance of what can and cannot die in the way as, like, say, the Grim Reaper just had a deal with someone to just, like, oh, well, you, me, we're cool. I'm never going to come collect your soul. So die all you might, I'm not going to collect you. And that would explain certain things, like the Necromancers very clearly raise the dead to still walk, so Nito doing that himself in his own fight, like, creating undead isn't against what Nito stands for, even though he's Lord of the Dead. But who dies when might be something of his purview. Hard to say. There's not a lot of information about what Nito's been up to since he did what he did and went where he went. But as Lord of the Dead, he has dominion over death, apparently undeath of a sort, and like disease, miasma. Miasma is kind of a catch-all of death, rot, stinky, blah blah blah. Hard to say. Just we're gonna get to 50 strength in no time. A lot faster than I had expected. And this body, I believe, would not be here if we didn't engage with Leroy. Which, now that we know for a fact, Paladin Leroy, Armor of Leroy, Paladin of the Catacombs. Paladin of the Catacombs. Long ago, the Way of White produced its first undead, a paladin in golden armor. With legendary treasures Grant and Sanctus, Leroy sent out for Lordran, land of the gods, in the first undead mission of the Way of White. I believe he is a reference to Leroy Jenkins, even in that he is a paladin, and his name is Leroy. Then again, it might be a translation thing where he could have been something else in Japanese. It's probably something I could have looked up a long time ago, but I believe it's a reference to Leroy Jenkins. But also, what a lore bomb to have right here that you wouldn't ordinarily get if you didn't fight and kill Leroy when you get invaded. Not only that he is a paladin of the Way of White, that wielded Grant and Sanctus, which I believe would indicate he is from Thurland, as the clerics of Thurland are the clerics of the Way of White. Though the Way of White is one of the most widespreading religions and faiths of this realm, it's kind of hard to pin down exactly where, but given the information that we have, it leads me to believe that he is a paladin from Thurland, which, given he was sent to Lordran in the first undead mission of the Way of White, that he's now considered Paladin of the Catacombs is disturbing more than anything, as apparently he has forsaken whatever former allegiances he had and is now standing in defense of Gravelord Nito. Which, had I recalled at the time... Actually, no. If we didn't fall down and get distracted with unlocking Vamos in that shortcut, I could have gone back up to the top and summoned Paladin Leroy, and he would be able to help us fight Pinwheel. But also, I don't want help to fight Pinwheel, because if I need help to fight Pinwheel, I have much bigger problems in store. You know what? Let's put this on for a bit. Let's see how heavy this is. Pretty heavy. It looks nice, though. Looks really nice. How would it look without... Still really heavy. Holy cow. How much heavy? Oh, okay, that's why it's... Oh, it's a good deal heavier than the Silver Knight armor. Unfortunate. Oh, there we go. Witch hat. 99 problems, but a big ain't one. Correct. So, that is now 3 Lord Souls, with the last one... Let's see, Seath and the Four Kings had pieces of Gwyn's Lord Soul. Nito had his own Lord Soul. We still need to go to Lost Islith. And the last one is... I also did say we need to go take a look in a place to get some answers, hopefully, for what those big trees were off in the distance. So, with that in mind, let's head back to Firelink. Just to confirm a few things. As we saw in the Tomb of the Giants, looking out into that massive expanse that went off deep into the horizon, there were these massive skyscraper-sized trees. Granted, also, we saw that while we were deep down in the underground. Like the deepest of the underground. Which, considering there are no skyscraper trees except for, like, the one we're underneath right now, and even then isn't reaching up... Oh, dang. It's hard to see. We'll go a little bit higher. So even that tree off in the distance, that's not a skyscraper. And there definitely are not hundreds of others off into the distance. So clearly they're down below, and we're kind of held within the canopy. Which, now that Nito has been taken care of, that should mean... Should mean the operative term. There we go. There we are! Prostration. Well, let's see what he's got. Like in many games, once you have dealt with Patches and his nonsense, he will become a vendor. Which is super important, as he often sells incredibly important items. Like, for instance, an Eye of Death. Lure phantoms from other worlds. Online play item. Only Covenanter can use the item while Hollows cannot. The dreadful Eyes of Death spread disaster across neighboring worlds. Phantoms lured to the host world may end up as victims, allowing the eyes to multiply. Eyes of Death to multiply. And leading to further proliferation of Bane. Essentially, if you have joined the Grave Lord's Covenant, you would be able to use Eyes of Death to create additional hazards and enemies in worlds that touch the same shard your world exists in. Shards are kind of this very strange system where they're whatever other people's games are within your same uh, division of sorts. And there's a way to game who gets put in what shard and when and where. I don't know the full technicalities of it, but the messages we would ordinarily see would come from other people playing in our shard. The invaders would be other people within our shard invading us. Being summoned would be summoned to other adjoining shards, allowing the multitude of different worlds to interact and benefit from either hostilities or cooperation. And the Eye of Death is one of these items that will allow you to place enemies, additional enemies, stronger, tougher enemies in other people's games, and until they find their way to fight their way to locate the sign and then use that sign to invade you. Until they do that, they will have to deal with those enemies in their world, and if they can't defeat you, then they've got to come back and do it again. It's a very confusing covenant to me that I believe it's what eventually evolved into one of the ones that evolved into the dueling covenants that we'll see in the future, especially in Elden Ring, where the dueling covenant is very much a I'm going to leave my summon sign here. If you want to fight me, summon me. That kind of thing. Without otherwise engaging with manipulating the enemies in the world. Which is fun in concept. In the original game, I believe it was broken in that the only way for you to use the eyes were in New Game Plus. So, if you ever wanted to use these items, you would have to be in New Game Plus, and then by that point, everyone's kind of a monster, which is fun in its own way, but it is what it is. Divine Blessing, which we have one of these, funnily enough. The goddess of sunlight, Guinevere, daughter of the great lord of sunlight, Gwyn, is cherished by all as the symbol of bounty and fertility. And now we know why, because she was a very big lady. A very big lady. Prism stones. Warm pebble emitting a beautiful facing aura. Oh, we did read this. Yeah, we did. Then he's got humanities on him. He's got some miracles. When we first met him in this playthrough, he asked us if we were a cleric. And I told him no, because it's the truth. We're not a cleric. Had we told him, yes, we are a cleric, he would immediately go into hostilities and try to murder us. Because he hates clerics. And that, I believe, locks out all potential for having him as a vendor and having him here to talk to us about stuff. It is to be avoided. Especially since, like most of the games, once you sort out his nonsense, he does become a valuable vendor, as it's the only way to get access to certain items like, well, none of those. We can always have access to those, but these. Because why would he be selling a crescent axe? Well-used old bronze battle axe with a long hilt and a crescent-shaped blade. One of the blessed weapons of the Way of White. The crescent axe is bequeathed to cleric warriors who have proven their faith. He's selling that because we saw Vince and Nico go down to the catacombs, and they had these weapons and they had these equipments. So the treasure he was alluding to is, like he said, what he strips off your dead body. Since we don't die in that trap, he can't really do it to us, but Vince and Nico did. So he stripped them of their stuff and now he's selling it. Which is how we also get access to the Cleric Helm and the Cleric Armor. Helm worn by the warrior clerics of the Way of White, who are famous for being unyielding in battle. It is rather substantial in size and weight, making its wearer look bigger than he actually is. Yeah. Which is why Vince and Nico look so much bigger and tougher, but they weren't. And since we never picked up the other masks off the other Pinwheels, we actually get those right here. Which they don't have any different lore, but if we wanted to have slightly more HP, we could wear the Mask of the Kindly Mother, and if we wanted more stamina recovery speed, we can get the Mask of the Naive Child, which is fun. It's also why Patches sells these miracles, because apparently Vince and Nico had one miracle each, and I guess neither one of them cast it because, well, they got. Anyhow, what have you got to say, Patches? Patches is a gossip. He will dish and dish and dish. It's to be fair, he's not often wrong with his assessments of people. As a, well, he's a thief. He's a bandit. He's a all-around cad of a human being. But he's a good judge of character. Like, we spoke to Solaire not too long ago, and he also had that same realization dawning on him that potentially people around him might not always be laughing with him, but at him, and well, at least from Patches, we have a confirmation that he is very strong. He is very adept at what he does, which is really fun to see. Because yeah, Solaire is strong. He's just a little weird. He's just a little weird, and that's fine. All the best ones are. So, like I mentioned, he's a very good judge of character. Uh, his willingness to speak with us is in no small part to, like, well, we're not clerics, and we forgave him for his trying to kill us, which, by all measure, like, he's now our friend. But Petrus being scum may lend some credence into, unfortunately, a interaction we missed where not Anastasia. What was her name? Raya? Raya. One of the two. The noble cleric who came down with Vincent Nico. Uh, they all went into the catacombs. Petrus himself was also waiting for them to enter into the catacombs, but as we saw, the three of them were down in Patches' little kick trap, while Petrus himself was not, and is up here lamenting his misfortune of having lost track of his adventuring party. And Patches here not only knows him, but is calling him scum, so it's very likely Petrus is not as genuinely concerned as he purports to be. So, funny note about that, Patches, he's kind of already taken care of. Which I don't know. Because to get to this point, unless you just never use the Black Eye Orb and never happen to pass through the chapel in, well, I guess, the cathedral in Anorlando and noticed it quivering, you might not still know what that's about. But seeing as Lawcheck was sitting down there before, and Patches here is mentioning, oh, you better watch out, especially if you've got humanity about. I guess it would be another hint to, like, hey, that's still a lingering danger. Uh, but yeah, that has long since been remedied. I guess I should buy something from him. Uh, yeah, we'll get 80 prism stones. Why not? Oh, he's such a scamp. Oh, right. We don't need that anymore. He is such a weird little man. But we also have some words, perhaps, to have with Petrus here. Oh, I guess we don't actually have a conversation to have with him. We might have if I had not missed the discussion with Rhea. Because I believe. Cause she's the person who would be. Uh, oh, what is it? We found this locket in front of. Oh, pendant. We found that in the chapel. And just to double check, because maybe I'm misremembering something, but I don't think that should have shown up unless we saved Rhea and, well, saved quotation marks. But if we didn't meet her and defeat Vince and Nico, chances are nope. Okay. So had I done something else before, I think maybe the Four Kings, Rhea would be kneeling about here, praying to this statue, and we'd be able to talk to her about what happened. Uh, we would be able to get a little bit more information about what happened to either Vince or Nico or with Petrus. But I missed out on that dialogue, as maybe I just spent too much time away from Firelink and didn't check in as often as I should have. But eventually, you come back and she's just dead. And you find that pendant, you find those humanities, you find the Firekeeper's, not Firekeeper's soul. Uh, and all the others naturally are gone. Vince and Nico have long since been slain by you. Ray is up there, now dead. And all that's left is Mr. Patches here. Patches. Petrus! Petrus here. Who Patches calls absolute scum. Which leads me to believe that a good friend here may not have been so forthright in his despair of his party being missing. That said, I don't recall if there's anything more in the future at this very second. I don't believe there is, but I could be mistaken. I'll return later, and we'll see about that. But for now, we want to check out more to do with the tree and investigate. Let me just make sure we don't have another Firekeeper soul. We don't. Okay. We do have a bunch of embers, which we could give to Andre, but that doesn't really matter right now. We could also push this weapon up to plus 15, but I think we're fine. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. So for now, we will head down into... Wait, is there anything in... I don't think there is. No, it should be fine. Altar of the Grave Lord, depths. There's nothing in the depths. There's nothing in the abyss. There's nothing in the tomb. Nothing with the pages. And Orlando, I think, is completely cleared out right now. The Painted World is all cleared out. Tomb of the Giants. We got the Ember, so I think that's all cleared out. There might be something more in the Duke's archives. Oh, hello! Welcome back, Mika. Things are doing well. We have a few fancy new upgrades, and I'm trying to keep a mental stock of where we need to go and what we need to get to, because I think at this point in the timeline we may be able to engage in the DLC. Oh, thank you. This was a labor of love, and while I'm learning and no, uh uh learning, it's a process, and I hope to learn even more and bring good, even more really fun things to what we've got going on here. Ah, goodness. Oh no. Okay. Okay, this is the front. Ah, thank you. I tried. Oh no. Okay. No. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. No. Where's that bonfire? Where is it? I need a little bit. Oh boy. Okay. But thank you. Uh, it's been a very fun learning experience, figuring out how all this stuff works, and just really making things as nice as possible. Oh, well, that's all right. I hope you feel better. Thank you for stopping by, even for a little hello and farewell, and I hope you feel better soon. Feeling being sick in this day and age is very much not the best way to enjoy some time off. But thank you. I wish you well, and be sure to drink some water. Maybe have some vitamin C, some OJ, or well, that might be too much sugar. I don't know. Uh, water. Water's a good staple. Can't go wrong with water. Oh my goodness. Oh, these guys are the worst. There we go. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. This is greatly appreciated. Get well soon. Ah. Oh, this guy. This guy. This guy. Oh, no. That's not. Okay. Oh, they don't stop coming. And there we go. This arrow guy. There we go. Okay. So now that we've defeated Seath, I believe. There we go. So, that broken pendant is the marker that we are now of sufficient strength and progress. Ah! to to access the DLC, which is another thing we could potentially do. I think we may want to get a good deal more levels in either health or stamina. I really would enjoy much more stamina than we're at right now. But I do tend to skirt along very underleveled in these areas, which is fine. Uh, like this game has been beaten many times over by many very skillful players that do like no hit runs, no level up runs, use your bare hands, uh, use a banana as a controller, that kind of thing. So having more stamina would just be just a personal comfort thing. I forgot where we're going next. It's not the okay. We're not going to the DLC right now. We need to head to the Daughter of Chaos, because I think we can also level up our Pyromancy Flame, which will make things also a lot easier for casting. Just kidding. How many souls have we got on hand? I thought Soul of a Long Lost Firekeeper. I thought I used that already. 16,000. That should be enough, right? Okay. I would like to get that up to 15, but considering I don't actually know offhand how much these souls are worth, the one I just used was 2,000. So this one I think might be 25, and this one might be 30 or 3,000. It's hard to say exactly. Which is fine. I don't particularly need that right now. and I'd much rather walk around with very empty pockets. But we have something to investigate that might say a few extra things about many different things, which that is a very large area that we will soon go into, but not just yet. As we have something to investigate. Which reminds me, let's swap this out for... Oh, I should probably start depositing some of these. So now that we have... we still need to go to the Isolith. We don't have to go to the catacombs. We don't need to go to the archives. DLC aside, we're actually closing in very closely to what would ordinarily be the final zones of this game. So all the better to go search out the very easily missed. I don't know why I just picked that up. I don't know why. Why would I? Fire! Oh. We're going to check out some very easily missed areas, which includes one of my favorite areas. And there's a chance, a slight chance, that might be a, I think a great club? But no, it's just poop. Meh. So off we go. To search out, first and foremost, a closer bonfire that isn't the Daughter of Chaos. Because while the Fair Lady is very much a amazing shortcut to get back down here, it's not exactly the one I want to be at right now. There we go. Now from here, we should be able to see... Where are they? Unless they've already moved on, which they may have because we stopped by to defeat a few more bosses, so the world state may have progressed without us. Because I believe this area here... Oh, wait! There we go! Now, which one are you going to be? First off, let's cure that poison. This is a heck of a place to take a nap. Yeah, I've got, what, 15? Yes. A pierce shield. Eh. Sigmar is a funny little guy. As as we've seen before, most of his solutions to his problems in adventuring tend to run along the course of, I'm just gonna sit here and let my problem solve itself for me. Which, as undead, granted, he does have the luxury of time, but it's not the most adventurous way to live. Okay. So now that he's got some uh, poison cure moss on him, I kind of wish I remembered exactly how much I had before. Because I might. I mean, it should be fine. We're not going to be down here terribly long. And that's the wrong direction. As we have another way to go. Knowledge. Ow. See, it's times like that where I start to wonder, like, am I really over leveled? Did I really go a little too hard and go a little overboard? And then I get bit by a leech and lose a fifth of my health, and I'm like, you know what? No, that was silly talk. It's fine. Ah, now it's been a long time since we've been in the poisonous swamp of Blight Town, and at some point I picked up this item here, but it was like a handful of souls. Uh, but it is a clue, as if the ramp up here into the knots of this root system weren't clue enough. Illusionary walls. And we find twin humanities, but sometimes it's like all that for a couple of stinking humanities? Ah! And then the fake out of double phantom walls. Now, as we reach into a very fun side area, the Great Hollow. Which, surprise, surprise, the Great Mysterious Tree is a favorite area. Oh, and another reason we did not come down here way back when, the last time we were here, is getting in and out of this area is a bit of a problem if you don't have a way to teleport, which for the longest time we did not have. But now we do. So now I feel more comfortable in. Why do I have? Why do I have two? Why do I have two? You know what? Well, oh, I deposited one. I see. Right. Ours was dead by the time we got a second one. Okay. Okay, I see. I see. And just so I don't accidentally use those, I'm going to deposit that. Not really going to be able to use anything for that, so we deposit that. And I never looked at the key item that I picked up, which uh, the mind tends to wander. So we will look at that shortly. What else can we deposit? I want to keep that on us. Keep that just for the weight's sake. Get rid of the crystalline because as much as I enjoy it, I don't like looking at it. I like the idea more than looking at it in practice, which is a common theme. The maiden set, the dingy hood set. Which now that I think about it, when we recovered Anastasia's physical form, not only did she recover with her tongue now intact, but also her robes as they were when she was killed. So, what that means exactly, I'm not too sure. Because it seems like your clothes can become part of your visual sense of who you are. Which is probably why they reform with her when she's recovered from death. Or it's just because it's, I don't know, another different version that came back. But, that's more of a leap than the other one. At least I think. Let's see. Dusk Crown King Magic Crown shaped ring is granted to Princess Dusk of Ulasil upon her birth. The ringstone allows its wearer to cast additional magic. So, another fun note, we got this ring by defeating the Hydra down in the basin, well before we ever actually met Princess Dusk of Ulasil. Let's see. The White Seance Ring. There is a lot of lore in these things that I'm not going to be able to refer to offhand. But when we need to, we will return and, well, we'll keep that on us just in case. We'll refresh upon each bonfire should the need arise. Is this one of the bonfires we can return to? I hope so. And if not, I will do... Well, I'll do the Walk of Shame back to the bonfire if it's not one we can't return to. But, for now, let's try and spend those Firekeeper souls, because I kept forgetting we had those, and it's really nice to not need to have multiple sips to recover. Okay, +4, +5. Fantastic. So that right there is going to be immensely beneficial for us. While we're up here, was there anything else? Right, the pendant. Where is it? The broken pendant. Broken stone pendant. Deeply enchanted. Half a broken stone pendant. The vine appears to originate from Ulasil. A powerful magic can be sensed from this ancient stone, yet men of this time can neither manipulate nor sense its power, which has a distinct air consisting of both reverence and nostalgia. Now, if someone were to tell you, like, okay, cool, you have the item needed to unlock the DLC. Go do that. Go unlock it. Okay, well, how? You'll figure it out. Don't even worry about it. uh, Hard to tell. But thankfully, we won't need to do any dwelling on that, as I know right where we need to go. In the meantime, though, back into... Unfortunate. Well, There we go. And that's the reason for one of the reasons for the title of today's episode, as we are definitely going to be doing the time warp again and again, as you know, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. At any rate, be sure to stay hydrated. And for those of you at home who may be doing so, please posture check. It's good for your back. Especially one well-known goblin out there. Goblin sitting. I still have that ring on. Okay, good, good. So let's see. At this point, we've spoken with Siegmeyer. Last time we spoke with Sieglind, told her that we saw Siegmeyer headed down below. Now we are headed on out. Heading to the Hollow proper. Which we are definitely going to be glad that we got those additional upgrades to our flask, as we're going to need it. Every bit of healing is going to count. Whoa. Okay, he's... Ah! Okay, we got this. We have this, we have it, it's good. It's all fine. It's fine and dandy. Is he still standing there? I probably should have read the shield as well. Okay. Well, he'll go when he's good and ready. For our purposes, we need to head on back over, past the leeches, up this route, and into this gigantic hollowed out tree. There we go. No need to cure our poison, as inside the Great Hollow we can sit at this bonfire that is not connected to the teleport circle. Yeah. Okay. At some point we died. Now for the Great Descent, which if someone's watching has not yet seen the movie The Descent, it's a nightmare upon which there is no escaping. Ah! Ah, well. I'll be back for you, little lizard. The Descent is crazy. I think they might be like... Okay, there. Okay, good. Red, okay. These Titanite chunks with colors do me no good, as I do not have a weapon that has an elemental enchantment. So the white slab we picked up for upgrading divine and holy weapons will do nothing for us, as we don't have a divine or holy weapon that we use. And the red chunks upgrade fire weapons, which we don't have and don't use. The blue ones upgrade magic and enchanted, which we likewise don't have and don't use. So a a lot of those good materials are going to waste as we don't need them. Is that close enough? We'll see. You know, I'm just gonna put this. I'm just gonna put those on my belt, as these will be very handy if I hit my target and don't miss. Okay, good. That means it's a safe drop that won't kill me. White chunk. We also don't need that. But it's fine because I don't remember what all these items are. So one of them might be something really interesting that we could talk about. Blue Titanite chunk. Something we also don't need. But that's fine. As, well, better it be a blue chunk than something we would actually really, really want. And hopefully that's far enough. Nope. But it didn't kill me. Oh, that might. JK, it didn't. Oh, but that. Chances are it's just another red chunk. But what if it's not and it's an interesting item? Although I don't believe there are any. I don't believe the Great Hollow Descent has plot or lore critical items. Well, plot critical items you can't miss, but lore critical items are very different, as they are very easily missable. And before I drop down any further, I did see a ladder, so we should probably go up that ladder and see, just for the hee-hees and ha-has, what exactly that leads to. Also important to note, basilisks are down here. There were some in the depths, and were there anywhere else that we saw before now? Besides the depths, and I don't think there were. I think up until now we just saw them in the depths. Which on its own is a very strange thing, is what are these creatures doing here? No. 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 Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, this is the worst. Ah! Ah! Well. I I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. I don't remember it being this bad. Why is it this bad? Ah! Ah! Okay. I don't recall it ever being that bad. That said, I didn't need to be up here, did I? I don't think we did. Wibbly freaking. Because this is the way we came down. No, it wasn't. Oh boy. So, eagle-eyed viewers will be able to tell that the basilisks spew out the same status ailment that I think killed me once. Yes, in the depths, we did die to it the one time. And we had to go get our curse lifted by Ingworth, I think. Ah, well. It's important to note that in our fight with Seath, well, quote unquote fight, uh, in the first one at least, his crystal breath also inflicts that same status ailment, but at a very, very low rate. And oh, that's right. It's because we jumped down. That's what it was. I gotta. I gotta. No, 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 no. Much more useful. Good. Ah. Ah. Marvelous. Seed's crystal breath inflicts curse as well. The same status ailment as the basilisk's breath, and there we go. As well as what else did curse? Ah, right. When we defeat an invader, we also, upon claiming their dropped humanities, we also claim, like, naturally souls for the souls that they have collected in their uh, endeavors. The curse meter also pops up a slight pip, which I'm not really sure why that does. It may be just residual curse from being an undead, as we are cursed with being undead. And we're just barely uh, glancing over what was on them until it leaves with them. It's unclear. I don't know if I've ever seen someone address that exactly, and I went the wrong direction, which is fine. That's fine, as I now know for a fact then. Hit. Oh, okay. Perfect. The Chloranthy ring. That might have something of note inside. Chloranthy. This ancient ring, engraved with a large green flower, is of unknown origin. Hastens the regeneration of stamina. Uh, so not so much lore, but given its placement within this gigantic hollowed tree, given there are basilisks down here, curse being something that turns things to stone. It's basically petrification. The reason Seath's breath does that, I'm not too sure beyond its crystallization effect. Dragons being linked so intricately, so intravenously with stone, and their stone scales being synonymous with immortality, probably has something to do with Seath the Scaleless. Okay, we'll take that. And of course, like a fool, I left the tale without bothering to mention that while Seath has no skills on the outside of his body, the bone on the inside definitely appears to be very stone-like, which may be why he was born the way he was, and that he had no scales, and him having legs and eyes may be part of him being albino. It could just be like a part and parcel, like, oh, he was born not like the other dragons, and because of that, he was not immortal. Seath was the only non immortal dragon, as he did not have scales of immortality being a part of his body. May just be that he was born like inverted, where instead of big flappy wings, he had these delicate bug wings, and instead of having stone scales on the outside, maybe his bones were made of stone. No! That raised up a lot faster than I expected it to. Unfortunate. But, case in point, curse is a dangerous thing. And, oh, it's a good thing we picked up a couple of purging stones. So unfortunate on that part. But I'm not too clear as why that sword didn't connect, but that's fine. Seat's nature is confusing, but he's also one of the few dragons we actually even get to see in any close encounter like that. So it might be that his scales, that the stone parts of his body are on the inside, covering his bones instead of his flesh, or it could be that he was malformed by some other entity, which could be why he had no legs and no eyes and bug wings instead. It could be that at one point he did have eyes and legs, but he started experimenting on himself, and something splatted. I don't know what that was. I'll take it. It's hard to say. The only time we see Seath before now is in the opening uh, cutscene slash creation myth, which may or may not be fully accurate, and may or may not be being relayed to us by someone with a bias towards the gods. Come on, damn it! No, don't stand there! No, no. Okay. Okay, it's hard to say exactly what is the way it is because it's always been the way it was, and what's the way it is because that's what it's become. Seath, it's hard to say because from the opening, it looks like he may not have legs, but he's also supposed like visibly waist deep in a pile of dragon bodies, which he may be entrenched in or just kind of squid sitting on. It's hard to say. Nope. There we go. Personally, I like to believe that through his experiments with the soul, creating sorcery, which is intrinsically tied to souls and soul power, uh, dragons having existed before light and life and death and dark, it doesn't make too much sense that dragons would have souls, as they are not alive, they're not dead, they can't die because they're made of stone, or so it was said. So it's hard to really deduce what Seat's deal actually is, as he's got no scales, he's not immortal, very much not immortal. Uh, Hello, Mushman. Goodbye, Mushman. I don't want to deal with them right now. I should. I should go back up. Well, it's too late to go back now. I'll come back later. I'll come back later and get those items, because we've spent a lot of time in this hollow so far, and I would like to make some positive progress towards our actual goal. Oh boy. Remember these guys from the basin. And what they're doing in here is likewise unclear. Suffice to say, oh, you need to back off. Back off. No, go back to your mush mama. Go back. Ha. The reason that tree is my favorite zone of the game is because it links to this. Ash Lake. Which, as we can see, has a very familiar appearance, as this is what we were looking out into from the inside of the Tomb of the Giants. From where we started coming down here from, we were at Firelink, which we could see the sky, we can see the ground, we can see off into the horizon, where none of this is visible. That also taken into account, we had to come down a long way to get here, through a great hollowed out tree, deep down into the earth. And a lot like in Norse mythology, the world appears to be something of a layered series of ground into sky, sky into ground, ground into sky. How far up and down it goes is hard to say as well. But this is Ash Lake. This is beneath Lordran. And from the beginning, we were told about the land of the dragons, a land of grey that knew no life, no light, no dark, no death. Nothing but these massive stone arch trees. Arch trees that were burned and destroyed by the witches of Islith. Dragons who were poisoned and corrupted by Nito's miasma. Dragons who had their scales peeled from their bodies by the lightning bolts of Lord Gwyn. And, of course, the furtive pygmies, who were so easily forgotten, were not mentioned among the rest of those great and mighty lords. So, given what we've seen, both in the Tomb of the Giants and just looking out into that fiery area, it's kind of safe to say this land of ash is the world before the first flame. The land of the dragons, where quite literally life originated and spread out. Nope. And I forgot you do magic damage. But I would much rather you swing at me. Come on. Come along, Hydra. Oh, you are beautiful. Look at you. Take us. Oh, ha! Okay. I may have been talking a little more shit than I should have. Come on. Do it again. Ah, they did it again. Ah, still not one head. Okay. Okay, probably not my best idea. That's one head, though. Come along. Do! I need you to bring your big galumphing noggins down here. Yeah. I can't see. Ah. You're lucky the blindness is your ally. But that luck won't stand for long. You fool. Oh boy. Come on. That's another. It's been a long time since we fought a Hydra. And we're a lot stronger than we were before. Not so much on the reach. We're still very short ranged. Come on. No. That's rude. Come down here and you fight me. Come on. Ah! Swing and a miss. Oh, no, I hit him. Come on, buddy. You know you want to. Just one more swing and it'll all be over. It'll all be over. Ah, no! Damn it! You know what? Yeah. That's what I think of you. That's what I think of you. And there we go. That'll do. Ha. Further confirming Hydras are part of the dragon family, which, like the gaping dragon, was marked to be a deformed descendant of true dragons. Now, the dragon scale, where the true dragons have like, the arms, legs, wings, head, and tail. The drakes are also the deformed offspring, where they've long since devolved to lose their arms and instead just have the wings. And the Hydras have lost most of their body, save for sprouting a bunch of heads. It's tricky to really get a good sense of them. The drakes, because there's drakes, there's wyverns, hydras, and like we saw in Seed's Crystal Forest, there's also these clans here. Now, whether he eats these things or something, I am not sure. But he very clearly brought these with him for a reason. What that reason is exactly is unclear. And now that we're in better lighting, they're full of little skulls. Which may very well be the purging stones we collect from them every now and then. Purging stones that, even in death or undeath, whatever this might be, they still qualify as an entity. Which, Twinkling Titanite, what does that even say? It's been a while. This weapon reinforcing Titanite is imbued with a particularly powerful energy. Reinforces a weapon that cannot be normally reinforced to +5. After this Titanite was peeled from its slab, it is said it received a special power, but its specific nature is not clear. Now, what that's doing in the clam, I'm not entirely too sure. I think it might actually be like a chip from this iridescent scale plating. It might be, but it's also unclear. Also, there's nothing in this game that this skull could belong to. It's spooky and it's a big skull, but like, it sounds like stone, but like, there's nothing we've seen that this could belong to. It looks like a devil's skull, for sure, with the little horns and the protruding nose and fangs, but unclear what its significance, if any, is. Especially considering nothing that looks like it is still here, and we never find anything that looks like that going forward. Now, some might say it's a demon's skull, but it's kind of... Given things we're gonna learn later, that being a demon's skull is highly improbable. Not impossible, just improbable. As the great poet Luigi Mario once said, nothing's impossible, just improbable. uh, there we go. Any goodies? Another purging stone. So we have made a net... Well, no, we broke even on purging stones. It's not a bad movie. It's a weird movie. It's not a bad movie. I don't know why people hate it. Well, now, I don't know why it's popular to hate that movie. Or a meme to hate the movie. I'm not too sure. It's a fun movie. It's fine. It led up to a sequel that we never actually got, but yeah. Yeah. Like, that's one of the movies that are like quintessential of the 90s children's movies watch list, like that. And I was about to say other John Leguizamo movies, but that would include stuff like The Pest, which is very much not a strictly children's movie, and also like To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, which is not strictly a children's movie. And I took too many steps forward as I wanted to have the big reveal, but I got distracted with To Wong Fu, which is an amazing movie. I did want to mention that while we're down here, and we see these great stone arch trees and the stone demon skull and whatnot. There's only been the Hydra, and we've not seen any other eternal dragons. Uh, Probably because a lot were destroyed in the war against the dragons, but then there's this guy. Which, strictly speaking, we did not light this bonfire. Someone else did, as we can rest at it without having lighting it, which is strange and unusual. But we are here with. Wait, what? An everlasting dragon. Which we could join its covenant, which we don't actually need to be in the Chaos Servant Covenant. But we're not gonna abandon it right now. But that having that prompt show up did give me the achievement for that interaction. Which, looking at this guy, first and foremost, that he has a covenant he can offer you instead of trying to outright murder you for dragon reasons is astounding, to say the least. But also, we can see like this is an everlasting dragon, not a drake, not a mutant offspring, but an actual, factual, everlasting dragon. So its body having this stony composition is pretty self-evident. That said, as well, though, it's surprisingly fluffy. And some neat asymmetrical horns, which I'm always a fan of. But look at. Oh, that doesn't do anything. At any rate, as a dragon, like other dragons, it should stand to reason that he's got a dragon tail cut. And he's surprisingly chill with us chopping off his tail. Oh, which is the reason why it was important to look at Seat's chopped off tail bit is this. A lot like Seath, this dragon has flesh and bone, on top of having fur, on top of having a very stony looking set of scales all across its body. So, dragons being completely made of stone may not be as accurate as once said, as this is one of the everlasting dragons in the land before time. Not the Disney movies. Well, I guess they weren't Disney. They were Bluth, Don Bluth films. Oh wait, where is it? Dragon Greatsword. Important to note: weapon type Ultra Greatsword. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, came from the tail of the stone dragon of Ash Lake, descendant of the ancient dragon. Its great mystical power will be unleashed when wielded in two hands. So even this everlasting dragon is a descendant of the ancient dragons. So its stony looking body, but covered in fur, is still not quite The OG. You know what? Universal. That does sound about right. And he does have big pecs, doesn't he? But seeing as this dragon is here, well, still here, leads me to believe that while the creation myth in the introduction may have been accurate for the time, in the time where the Lord Souls were found and these kingdoms risen up, when the first flame brought life and death, and light and dark into the world, I believe it also altered the dragons that existed before any of these things could possibly find purchase. I don't think I bought the Ulicilian magic, which now I wish I had, so I could refer to it. Same with the repair powder, but the spell that allows us to repair weapons using magic essentially turns back the clock on the wear and tear of the weapon, which, now that I think about it, Undead Berg, Undead. You know what? Let's go find some repair powder, because that powder, I believe, describes like reversing time on an item that restores its durability. Because the repair spell mentions it works a lot like the repair powder, and if it doesn't say it on the spell, it might say it on the powder instead. Because there's a very important detail with the light soul that I've been dancing around. Of course. Of course, Andre. Anything for you. Fantastic. Uh, he doesn't sell repair powder? It might be the vendor in the Berg. Yeah, sure. Oh no? Sure, why not? Concerning, but I have faith in his abilities to not get brain jacked by a black ember. Oh, wait. No? Huh. Nope, nope. Let's... Yeah. We'll upgrade armor a little bit. One of the few games where upgrading armor is actually really worth it, as it's the best way to just not take unnecessary damage. And we'll repair... Oh, nope. We'll repair our stuff while we're at it as well. And you, Andre. And you. So, if he doesn't have it, I believe... Oh, nope. Dang it. I believe the merchant in the Undead Berg should have it instead. Which would be near the Sunlight Altar. Next, Firelink. He's pretty close to where we enter Firelink, the Undead Berg from, anyways. Because I would really like to get that one detail out about the light soul that I believe is relevant to the situation, but in order to do that, I need to properly refresh that the item actually says what I think it says, or at least alludes to. Because I could make a baseless accusation right now, but I'd like to have, proof as to what the heck I'm talking about. Oh. Do you remember these guys? Way back when? They used to survive more than one hit. Not so much now. But for now, we have an item to get, and given how many souls we have on hand, we'll probably just wipe out the stock of all the unique stuff he's got while we're here, and so we don't have to come back later. Hopefully I didn't buy everything before and just forget I did. Hopped the twig? There we are. Repair powder. Lightly enchanted golden powder. Repairs weapon equipped in right hand. Use of a weapon depletes its durability, eventually rendering it ineffective. Repair powder is a precious method of repair on the battlefield, as it obviates the need for a repair box. And that's not the explanation I was hoping for. Maybe it was the other way around, and it's the spell's ability to repair, mimicking repair powder, and repair being a spell based in light that undoes the damage to an object. Either which way. Yeah, you're telling me. No, you! Yeah. Have fun petting a bucket that's not there anymore. Jerk. So I guess I'll just say what's the thing I thought was going to be explained, but eventually wasn't. Evidently wasn't, not eventually. Uh, light, the light soul, governs things like illusion, but also things like glory and valor, nobility and how to word it. Each of the souls have a certain set of things that they govern as for like pillars of the universal law, we'll say. With one being light, one being life, one being death, one being dark. Each one corresponds to something fundamental in the universal law of this land. Before the light soul, there was no light in the world. There was no illusion. Things were not obfuscated in any manner. Things simply were. Likewise, without dark, there was no. Okay, dark. I'm gonna hold off on because we'll learn much more about that in the DLC, not just yet. The Death Soul, we've seen about all the context there is for it. Having control of the Death Soul gives you control over how things die, when they die, and their expired remains after the fact of their passing. So it allows you to create and puppet skeletons for reasons. The Light Soul, given what we see from Gwendolyn, who uses their light magic to create an illusion over Analondo that displays the full grandeur of the world as it once was, well, the city as it once was. But as we see, most everything illusion based revolves around light, the bending of light, and the manipulation of light. That's why Ulasil's spells, like camouflage, denote that they are works of light to disguise yourself as something else. It's the same kind of magic that allows Gwendolyn to create an illusionary facsimile of Guinevere, one that they're able to speak through to us by the manipulation of said light. Voice-wise, I'm not going to get into because that's magic. Illusions are both auditory and visual, I guess. They very much do not go into the whole nitty-gritty of what constitutes what in magic as it's magic. So I'm doing my best to put two and two together as to what powers it actually pertains to. The Light Soul has always seemed to be deeply connected to all things that Gwyn venerates. Nobility, especially, being not only, well, kind of relevant to today, well, not today specifically, but recent events. Nobility tends to define itself by holding itself to a higher standard than the rank and file, which Gwyn, as Lord of Sunlight and Lord of Light, with the Light Soul, very much grew his strength into being this entire pantheon of royals, of gods, of entities that are so much more powerful and so much further above everyone else that they label themselves gods. It might be true that they are that powerful, but I mean, they're kind of at the tail end of their lifespan, and as the intro cinematic outlines, the light is fading in the world. There's a resurgence of dark, and that's what is believed to cause the undead curse. Is the world is out of balance as it once was, but that balance has been broken for quite some time already. Between Nito and his soul of death having much of its energy already offered to death. Whatever that means exactly is unclear. I think it might mean that in his administration of death, maintaining the cycle of death throughout the entire world, we'll say, I would imagine that takes a lot of power. And again, these resources are not infinite, so even the expenditure of what little power it takes to, say, claim one elderly person and to usher them into death, well, be they god or mortal or whatever else they happen to be, that still takes some measure of power to take that soul and usher it to death and then release it to wherever it happens to be. The gods are not exempt from death, so calling them gods is much more a it's much more like an illusion, something that they maintain to differentiate themselves from the common folk, where there really isn't much separating them from anyone else except for the power they've had for a long, long time, allowing them to be more influential which eventually has to run out. None of it's infinite, and none of it is eternal. Where was Ash Lake? Right, we don't need to go back to Ash Lake. We already went there, and we have the stone dragon here. That Ash Lake isn't on this list is actually very concerning because I know we're gonna have to go back down there eventually. At any rate, like I was mentioning, it's my belief that the light soul pertains over nobility and the things that come with it, the illusion of greater power and the illusion of control. We are still in the process of gathering together these great Lord Souls to feed into the Lord Vessel that will allow us to unlock the path to Lord Gwyn and succeed him. So that begs the question, and why the use of flame being a very important one for the way this world is set up to operate. If these things are being burned and being fed into this flame, these souls are being fed into this Lord vessel. Eventually, like Lord Gwyn, if we are to succeed him, down the line someone must also succeed us. And they're not going to have a Lord vessel to satiate with Lord souls. They're not going to have the strength we've been able to accrue. As what we've gained through our travels through Lordran, we're going to be taking with us. And if we replace Lord Gwyn, it's going to be our power that is fed into maintaining the world order as it is. Which, if that sounds unsustainable, it's because it is. So, what we'll do. I'm already of the opinion of what we'll do at the time, but that will have to be for another time. As from the looks of it, we have attained a great many things today. We have gone around the world, inside and out, topside and bottom. We have done quite a few things, and we have ever so many more questions that await answering. But this, again, this entire game, the story, the questions it poses, the the urgency of requiring, well, not only the player's attention in figuring out where to go and what to do and how to go about doing it, but also just what are you doing? What are you accomplishing? To what ends are Frampt, the Kingseeker, and the illusionary Guinevere, also puppeted by Gwendolyn. So, in fact, it's not Guinevere at all, but Gwendolyn pushing you in this direction, giving you what you need to hear as chosen undead to accomplish this great feat of succeeding Lord Gwyn and linking the fire. For what purpose? What will it actually accomplish? And how far are we actually going to get with feeding more and more souls into the fire to keep it lit? It's hard to say. And extraordinarily terrifying as the prospect of if we in fact do go through with linking the flame and maintaining the world's status as is, how long can that last until, well, there's no more kindling to throw into the flame? It's very terrifying. Existential crisis. Your best friend. Endless entropy. Well, not endless. Entropy can't be endless by its very nature. But, well, that will be a problem for the future, as entropy tends to be. For now, thank you for joining us here. I've been your very, very grateful host, Levatome. If you like what I do, please send me a follow. We are mostly a weekend kind of streamer, though we will occasionally appear during the week on Friends of the Channel. Speaking of which, Friends of the Channel, inside the little green button on either, well, you'll see it on the side of the screen or below, are friends of the channel. Each one very good people, very fun. Things have been a little slow as of late, as real life, more immediate concerns have been on the rise. But such is the way of things. Make sure your life around you is stable, and take care of yourself. One in particular, Saxman, like myself, is on the road to affiliate, where every single follower will invariably make that path a little shorter, but all the same is a path we are treading as a fun little group. And those who join my path will become one of the Circle of Moonlight, the Moonlit Circle, which we are going to be doing a little more in time to expand on that. We stand for the spreading of stories and tales of heroic deeds and villainous monsters, simply because that's a lot of fun. And if you can't tell stories around the fire in the dead of night under the moonlight, well, what can you do? For now, though, thank you again for joining us here, and until next time, I hope you're safe, be well, be sure you're drinking your water, be kind to yourselves and each other. Until next time, take care.